Hi guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact breakdown on how to look at a ad account, right? Especially when you're taking a look at an ad account for the first time, or how to make an audit, or if you can also apply this to your brand if you're running a brand, right? Or how to audit your ad account, let's say if an agency working for you and running ads for you, right? So again, I'm basically I saw this ad account once or twice before that, but I haven't really digged into, deeper, I would say. But something I already know, something I'm going to show you, and you can take also notes on the process and kind of like create a SOP for yourself before it, right? So let's dive into that. All right, so first of all, in the last 30 days here, I see we have one campaign running. Its active budget is $400 a day. Let's see. Okay, actually I can change. I don't have access to change the budget. So let's go. I think it's Canadian dollars, to be honest. I'm not sure 100%, but I think it's something that the owner told me, this brand. But again, I can't check it right now. So 16.5k spent. The frequency is 4.8, which is quite high, I would say. The CPM is on average is $20, which is good. I would say it's normal. The frequency, I would say, is too high, honestly. So let's take a look. All right, we have link clicks. The average CPC is $2, which is good. The average CTR is 0.9, which is not good, to be honest. Ideally we needed more than 1%, but it depends on the niche as well. So again, all right, now we can also see right away. Again, you can also build columns for yourself, like I have here. So let's take a look here. So you have delivery, budget, date created, date lost, edited, amount spent, frequency, CPM, reach, impressions, link clicks. All right, so we have 7,400 link clicks, and then we have only 1,400 landing page views. And if you watched the previous video, we already identified this problem. It happened after the client updated the website. So basically, it's something triggering all landing page views correctly. All right, then we have also 1,400 kind of like content views. Then we have 192 add to carts. So if we take, let's say, just landing page views we have here and the amount of add to carts, the conversion rate is, let me calculate that, 192 divided by 1,400. That will be 13%, which is, to be honest, really good, I'd say. But again, this is not all landing page views tracked, so this is kind of like a bit, it will be lower for sure. All right, and then if we take a look at the conversion rate from add to carts to purchases, from 192 add to carts, we have 40 purchases. Let's see how much we actually, it is 192. All right, so that 20%, that's not bad, honestly. That's good conversion rate. Of course, it can be better. They have good conversion rate. I can see that from add to carts to checkouts as well. It's really, really good. And then from checkouts to purchases, we have a big drop here. So let's say 40 divided by 174, it's 22%. Well, I would say it should be around 50%, but again, this is a higher AOV product, so it's pretty normal, I would say. And then we have 0.5x ROAS. The average order value is $200, and the conversion rate is, this is the first one, the purchase divided by landing page views. It's 2.7, which is quite high, but again, we don't have all landing page views, so it will be lower. And we have a second one, which is basically like purchases divided by link clicks, which is 0.5%, which is quite exactly what I would say it should be for this store, because again, it's a higher AOV. It shouldn't be like that, but it's just, based on the metrics, it's around 0.5%. Then we have the average hook rate, so let's leave it like that for now. All right, so now, if we dive inside of this campaign here, you'll see multiple ad sets running right on the left. Some of them were started sooner, some of them were started later. So let's just, first of all, what I do is just to sort them by amount spent. Let's see what was the higher spender in the ad account. All right. So we have this one, this ad, it spent 50% of the budget, pack one, right? It's called, the frequency is 3.9, which is quite a lot, I would say. So probably most of the ads here are doing retargeting, or maybe one of the ads here is doing the retargeting job. Okay, then we have another one, which is this one was launched on September 11th, $1,400, 2x frequency. All right, this is good. Quite expensive CPC, I would say, on average, and low CTR, but let's keep it like that for now. The next one we have $1,200. Okay, so these are the higher spenders. Some of them were launched in October even, and in September. Okay, $3 per click on average here. Then we have this one, 4.9. Then we have super expensive click here, $45. I would say I would stop it right away, to be honest. I'm not sure why it's happening like that. Maybe I'm missing something. Then we have it here, 2.6, $4, $6, $3. Okay, on average it's $2. Okay, interesting. And that's because of this ad, I think. Yeah, right. Let's take a look. CTR over average is quite low. Here we have 1%. Let's go to the next one. Let's scroll to the right. Right. Let's see what we have. All right. Yeah, I'm just looking at the data here. So different columns, add to carts, so on, and how they convert to sales. All right. And we have the average purchase value here, which is the highest right here. This one's $200, but again, the product cost is around 400, if I'm not mistaken, 400 or $500, something like that. So we have lower AV here, and that's because we are targeting existing customers. They have also lower AV products. Basically, their customers can buy on the subscription and so on. So that's why we can see that this situation here, right? So another thing that I love to do in the ad account is actually click in breakdowns and then audience segments. This is how quickly you can understand actually how this account is working here. All right, so let me move it here. New audience. We have 25 sales, 0.5x ROAS, but the average order value is 250. Okay. What is the frequency? 4x frequency. All right, man. Let's go back here. So 4x frequency on new audience, and then 180 times for existing customers. So this account is doing a bad job. Probably the existing customers are not excluded, and maybe they are not set up correctly on in the audience segments in the ad account. So this is too high. Like, this is crazy. Why would you advertise and spend money on your existing customers if you already acquired them? Just do email marketing, or maybe spend just a little on ads, and that's it, right? So then engaged audience, again, 30 times. 30 times it's okay if you have multiple diverse ads, but that's too much if you have only a few ads running, of course. Of course, it should be higher for higher E products. I would say it can be 10, 15, 30 is a bit too much, I would say. Okay, the cost per click is of course cheaper on the new audience, more expensive on the existing customers. All right, let's see. That was for the last 30 days, right? And let's see. Okay, so we obviously have really high cost per purchase on existing customers and low ROAS because they're not buying the main product. They're buying just supplements, supplementary products for the main one. And then we have the engaged. Engaged has basically half of the CPA of the new audience here. And that's what it should be. It should be lower than the new one for sure. All right, let's now take a look last 14 days. Because I know it's pretty bad. All right, ROAS 0.3. Average order value dropped even further. So it's 145, right? So like again, it's even in the new audience here, I think a lot of people are existing customers. All right, let's now, after taking a look at this, what I would do, I would go into ad account settings. Right, let me see, I think it's here. Right here, all right. Now, in here, I would recommend you to go to audience segments. So let's see if the client has already added the right audiences. Let's take a look. All right, so here you have engaged existing. If you haven't added that here yet, please do that. That will help your ad account to understand who is who. All right, we have engaged audience. I'm not sure what it is right here and how it's created, but basically what it should be here is your website traffic with exclusions on purchases. All right. You can here the traffic that visited your Facebook, Instagram shops and didn't purchase. So just keep it in mind. Then existing customers. All right. So here we have only pixel data for 180 days, but in fact, this business is already working for a couple of years. So you also need to add your customer list, export that from Shopify, and make sure everything is correct and data is, you should have phone numbers, emails, etc. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. So firstly, you need to, get into Google spreadsheets and then delete like the issue is with the phone number. There is like the apostrophe. which you need to delete in all phone numbers. It stays before the number, and then you can upload that to Facebook. So again, this is the big thing to fix. All right, once we're here, let's go to the pixel and check if the pixel is tracking correctly, if everything is good. All right, once you're in the pixel settings in the ad account, you need to scroll a bit lower and take a look at your event match quality. So for purchase, it should be ideally more than 9. Here we have a 9.3 out of 10, which is good. All right, then we have a bit lower on the add to cart level here. I would say it depends for each brand, but you need to have it as big as possible. Let's take a look here. Of course, they have the conversion API installed, which is great. The event quality is good. Bottom. All right, automatic website matching. This is really important here. Make sure everything here is turned on for you. All right, so we are gathering as much data as possible for your e-commerce store and for your pixel to optimize on. Now let's get back to the ad account and actually create a report to see how this business is doing over months over months, right? Throughout this year, let's say, to see maybe we can find any problems. Once we're opened and created a new report here, I recommend you to choose months here and delete the campaign name. We can close this and then select this year. All right. Now we can see the breakdown and the spending amount and all the frequency stuff, everything for this year, basically 2025 since January. So you can see this business spend 131K since the end of this year, and the frequency is the highest it has ever been during this month. At the same time, the ad spend is not that big, to be honest. They were spending much more money back then before. The CPM is still good. It's $17 on average, I would say, for this month, for October. Before that, we had bigger numbers, even 21 in September. So something is definitely doing better. All right, let's take a look at cost per click. Cost per click is getting quite high here. After July, you can see it was 90 cents. All right, another thing I forgot to do, actually. Every time you check all of this stuff, make sure you select only sales objective, all right? Because they can be running some traffic campaigns, some video views campaigns, and so on. You only want to check sales, because this is the biggest thing that will make an impact for your business. Not traffic, not engagement campaigns, not anything else. So, okay, now we have a better view of data. The frequency is still high. It was also high in May, 4.8 here. Then it was even higher, 5x. Okay, then it was lower in September, August, the frequency, right? The CPM is actually lower here, which is a good sign. All right, and we spent actually the same amount as the previous months, but the CPM is lower, but we reached the same amount of actually less clients, less customers. So I think we just, because of this frequency, we reached also a lot of people, same people that we reached the previous months, and that's a bad thing. All right, let's take a look here. We have the cost per click, which is $2, which is good because it's one of the lowest across the months, I would say. Okay, and now we have also the average CTR, etc. It's going to helps in understanding how this account worked. And remember when I mentioned to you that we have a big drop of 80% from clicks to landing page views. So here you can actually see that. So in the beginning it was 5K clicks, then almost 5K landing page views, then 4.5, 3.5. Okay, drop, but not that big, I would say. 5.1, 3.8, 5.8, 4.6. Okay, still losing. Still, let's see how much. So that's 4.600 divided by 5. Let's do like that. So around 17% of traffic is losing here, and I think that's because of the site speed. And then you can see, let's say June, 3.4, and then we have a big drop to 1.7 right away, right? If you just compare this. So it's like basically 50% of traffic is dropping. Then we have 50% of traffic dropping here. Then we have like even more, I would say a bit more percentage dropping here. And here the same, and during this month it's crazy big. It's basically like client is losing lots of money on this. So let's just take a look roughly, right? And that's 94% of traffic is losing because of this issue. And that's also because I think people saw the ads too many times. Okay, let's go to the next one. The cost per landing page view increased drastically, even comparing to the previous months. Let's move further. All right. The cost per ad account on average is $30. So in the beginning, you see it was like 20 bucks, 34, 25, 39, 44, which is good. And now it's 99. One of the reasons it can be because right now it's October. People may be delaying their big purchases till November because they're expecting, Black Friday sales and discounts. That's also can happen, of course. But I've seen also brands that do crazy well and they have the same offer all the year long, basically. So I think it's just, depends on the brand, the market conditions, let's say the seasonality as well, etc., etc. Of course, it depends a lot. Then we have the cost per purchase, we have ROAS. As you can see, ROAS is 0.6 this month. Before it was 1.3x, 1.1, 1.4, 2.5, 2.6. Okay, yeah. So since the beginning, it was good till, I would say, August, and then it started to drop. Average order value, the highest was in August. Across the year, it was still 200 something. Okay, and the conversion rate, pretty much the same. The second one, yeah, dropped a lot. The hook rate average, of course, okay, it's 18 to 22, okay, 22 to 16, all right, got it. Let's now take a look at the previous year, because again, we need to compare data for the previous year, again, from the sales campaigns. All right, what do we have here? So in August, which is here, we had also, if you compare numbers and ROAS, we have drop in performance in August. So this might be the seasonality or just market conditions, if you see like that. It might be happening for a lot of brands and for yours as well. So just be aware of that, okay? That's why you need to, say get as much traffic as possible in August and September, and also test new offers. So you'll be ready till you will be ready for Black Friday. So you don't need to scale, or attract a lot of customers with higher CPMs in October. Okay. Again, last year, if you check, the CPM on average was 17 bucks. This year is on average higher. And in October, still low, 17.8. The average frequency was 5. It's still high, I would say. 100% is high. But I mean, it's not that high. I mean, for this brand, kind of like this higher AOV, that's normal frequency. The big point is that you need to track as well how many new customers are reaching. So to track that, you have a specific sheet you can use, or specific calculator. I'm explaining in the previous video like that. So search, I think 2 videos ago, I posted a video on how it works and how to do this. So make sure you track that. Make sure you're reaching at least 10-20% new audiences every month. All right. Right. Another thing I'd like to check in the ad account is actually go to customize here, and then select attribution settings, and then select 1-day click, 7-day click, 1-day click, 1-day view. All right. Let's apply this. To load, but it's definitely worth it. Let's click refresh. So we have the total amount here, 857 for this year. We have 1-day view, 500 purchases. We have 1-day clicks, 200, and we have 7-day click, 360. All right. So basically, 1-day click purchases, they're also inside of 7-day click, because if you're, they're kind of inside of this number. All right, because again, this is 1-day click, 7-day click. It's kind of like, it consists of 7-day. 7-day click consists of 1-day click purchases. So we have 360 purchases made out of 7-day click. And what it tells to me is basically that you have the total number here, and you have sales made out of click only. So more than 50% of sales are made of you, which is quite crazy. So let's do this then. Let's also turn on audience segments, all right? So we can see where the money is going. All right. Now we have the breakdown by months and also by audience segments. Let me quickly, I don't know if I have the summary column. No, I don't have it. All right, if we just do this, let's delete this and then just remove months. Okay, now we have the breakdown by audience segments. Okay, we have new audience. It says 100K spent on new audience. Of course, it spends most of the money here. But again, if you take your existing customers here, you can see 8.7K. This could be saved. This could be zero basically. So, because you don't need to spend here money at all. So if you're still relying on metas and Robota and like not adding all exclusions, this is a bad thing to do because it will still spend there. I'll be honest. You need to control it as much as possible. So ideally, even in the ad set settings, if you add, firstly, you added exclusions on the ad account level, like I showed you before. Secondly, you'd add exclusions for your customers' purchases on the ad set level. And this will not turn off your audience or Advantage Plus settings, basically, your AI optimization, how they call it, right? So this is 500 times. This is crazy high. All right, we have the engaged 45. This is not that bad. Ideally, it's too high, but not that bad. And 5x on new audience. Okay, 5x on new audience. And this year we reached so far 1.1 million new audience. Let's take a look at overall 1.1 mainly. Let's do now this. Let's select last year. No, let's do maximum, right? And the maximum reach is 3.9. Okay. Since 2022, 400K spent. So probably they're running ads for like 3-4 years. And last year, okay, this year they reached. Let's now do this thing. So let's select since the beginning of running ads, 27th of 2022, then go to the beginning of this year. So December 2024. So we will see what is the incremental reach here. Okay, December 2024. Let's take a look. 3.1, 3.2 roughly million of people were reached before 2025, and during this year we reached 1.1. So in total 4.2, right? In total. All right. And then if you select again maximum, we have 3.9, and that means we kind of wasted some budget here. I think I'm doing this correctly. Not sure 100%, but stay with me. All right, yeah. So 3.9, it was for the maximum, and 3.2, it's since the beginning till the beginning of the end of the previous year, right? So the difference between these two is 3.9, 3.2, 700,000, all right? New people, actually, they reached. If we check again back at account this year, it's 1.1. So 1.1 minus 0.7 or 700, it's 400,000 people were basically not new customers, all right? So they're still reaching new customers, but I would say they're kind of wasted some money on existing customers and engaged audience as well. All right, now we know this. Let's take a look at another thing. I have this here. Where is the AOE? All right, it's here. Like this year is 224. Let's now we can remove the. We already know about over attribution on view attribution. Okay, that's we got it. Let's bring these settings. Last year. All right. And this year, just again, 100K, and they reached less people. All right. So last year was kind of like better for them, I guess, in terms of scale, right? They had good ROAS overall, pretty cheap customer CPA. Let's see the average order value is 340. So yeah, you see that they were reaching mostly and converting customers, and the average order value was quite much bigger, right? The product didn't change, but they just added some supplementary products, cheaper ones, and existing customers are buying the cheaper products, and that's why you have this kind of like lower AOV. It's because the ad account is still spending money on existing customers. Okay. Now let's get back to the ad account and go inside of this campaign here actually, and see last 30 days. Okay, we have this ad set running, spending most of the budget, 3.9x frequency. Let's see if we have something with lower frequency. We have this ad. Oops. Let's go back. We have this ad running here. I'll just move myself like here. All right. We have this one. 2.6 per click. What about Ecommerce? Let's see. What about here as well? And you see the current purchase value is 35, which is again saying is to us is that it's working on existing audiences. Again, this one here, newly launched in September, 2 sales for $40 average order value. Yeah, that's too low. Let's go in the first one. First one has quite big purchase value, which is quite weird to me, to be honest. Like 4.5. Oh wait, it's the cumulative. All right, that's good then. $200 average purchase value again says to me that a lot of existing customers are buying in this one. Kind of a couple of sales for $700 with good CPA, so that's good. If you go inside of this pack here, of course I won't be diving into every single ad, but just roughly to show you on how you can take a look here. I would sort it by reach or by amount spent. Sometimes sorting by amount spent it doesn't work, so another thing you can do is sort by reach. Okay, we have 6.7 in the last 30 days on this ad, which is quite crazy. It's $5 CPC. So again, and 0.36%. So again, I would stop it. I would stop it right away. Again, you see that the ROAS is super low here. The average order value is good, but most of all is just getting existing customers. And if we take, let's say, the last months for this specific ad, 2.3, 2.4x ROAS, which is better, of course. $160 average order value. So it was working before. All right. Yeah, it was started in August, in the middle of August, and it was working well. But again, even last month, it already hit the frequency of 5x. If we take last 2 months, oops, let's take like this. Oh, it's already, you see the frequency is 7x, 7.6. That's, again, this ad is already done itself. It was great, but it's already done itself. So what you can do, you can just refresh this ad, the same kind of style, multiple times and add into, what I would do is just, I would add into this campaign, but not into this ad set, but in new ad set is a couple of variations, right? Okay, let's go to next one. Last 30 days, we have 3.4x here, 1.6x CPC. Okay, this is really good. Cheap CPC. Good cost per, okay, and the ROAS is super low. Okay. Again, frequency is quite high for this amount of ad spend. So this is most of all retargeting ad. Also middle of August. The amount of ad cards is good, but again, right now we are kind of like blind in terms of where it's spending money because not all of the customer lists were added to the ad account level or to the ad sets. It's not set up right now properly. So what I would say is just to stop this ad again. It's not making sales, or it's making sales, but on existing customers, so it's not worth it. Especially its frequency to 3. If I would see the ad that is like has like 1.5x frequency with like a few thousand x spent, and it's kind of like, let's say, maybe not spending the highest, but it's making add to carts and it's making checkouts. Maybe it has a few sales, but not that much, and the AV is good. I would leave it, to be honest, because it can be the top of the funnel ad. Okay, let's go to the next one. 1.8. Also the next highest 1.8 here, $2 per click. CPM is quite good. Okay, 260 per purchase. Average purchase value $200. So this one we can leave. It's not the best, but it's not the worst as well here. This one's already stopped. $700 on sale, 0. This one here, okay, this is kind of like the trendy video. The client told me the hook rate is really good here, 46%. You can see. The problem here is that the big problem here. Let's see. Yeah, of course, the amount of clicks and the amount of landing page use, you can see the difference is quite high. But we already know that. We just right now analyze what we have. So anyway, you are optimizing account on sales. So again, it may be bad that you're not tracking landing page use. Yeah, that is turned off. It's kind of good ad in terms of performance. It's low frequency, the hook rate is good, but we don't have a lot of sales actually. We don't have a single sale from new customer. The AOV is way lower. So it's turned off. I don't think that's the right approach. We have the next ad here. 3x frequency, okay, 15 bucks CPM, $3 per click, 0.5 CTR. We have some amount of add to cart, some amount of checkouts, one sale, 700 bucks value. Okay, this is good. We can just leave it. The next one, again, we have lots of add to carts, couple of checkouts. Okay, good click, low frequency, so I would leave it as well. It's already turned off. And this way you can kind of analyze all your ads, right? And see if you have, because it doesn't matter if, you structure ad account, like one campaign, couple of ad sets, let's say, or one ad set, all ads inside. It doesn't matter if the ad is taking all ad spend, that you just always need to keep it on. No, if it's like not working for you, if your ROAS is getting lower, then of course you need to stop it, right? It doesn't make any sense. You're profitable on the first hand, you need to be, to make money, right? So that's why you need to control all these metrics, because the frequency, you see the frequency is getting too high. It's like almost 8 times, and the amount of, I would say, the probability of purchase after seeing the ad 2 times based on statistical data of Meta is dropping like a lot, by 50%, I think, after seeing the ad only 2 times. What about 8 times? This is the thing, I would say. All right, let's go back to the ad sets here. Let's see what's getting ad spend here. 2x frequency. All right. You see, it's also 2 sales, but low AV. Let's find something maybe at least that's working. Wait. This is better. 275. This is better. What is this? Frequency 3x. 2.9 click. 2.9 click. Okay, we have a good amount of add to carts, good amount of checkouts. Again, this is not profitable, but it's better than everything else. The EOV is higher here, but the frequency is still high. Okay. What was before that? What was in September? 3x frequency, 1.3x ROAS. Average order value was way higher. Okay. 300 bucks in September, and this month in October we have 240, and last 14 days we have 145. So things were working better, way better in September. What has happened? Maybe just audience fatigue, maybe creative fatigue, right? It can be 3x frequency, and this month's 4.7. Yeah, it can be the frequency issue, right? Because there are many variables. Can be even all variables at the same time. Last month he also was running the scaling campaign, which he was running since July and stopped in September. Okay, this ad also had high frequency and low CPA. No, actually ROAS was higher, but the average order value was 440 bucks here. You see that on the second campaign. Okay, let's take a look at this one. What was here happening? Okay, we have our first ad, pack 1, that was running. It has 300 bucks CAV, so you just dropped the performance. You can see that. Okay, we have this ad, which was good, kind of last month. Okay, let's see. Each of them is more than 2, which is a bad thing, to be honest. Okay, let's now take a look August. Actually review our ad account as well. August. Okay, we have 3.7x frequency. Average CPC is $2. We had a couple of campaigns running here. Okay, scaling, then that one CBO. This one has 1.3x. This one 1.3. You look at average order value. This one is definitely, you can see this campaign here is getting new customers for sure, because the average order value is higher. And I know for sure that, most of customers are getting here are new customers. This one, on the opposite, it gets, yes, it has lower CPA, but at the same time, the AOV is way lower as well. So it's kind of like just wasting money on the existing customers. All right, this campaign here, scaling campaign, let's take a look what was here inside. Okay, one ad set basically, 50 bucks a day. Maybe it was decreased later. Now it's off. And in this ad set here, what we have? Ads. Lower AV, some higher, but Well, this ad was great. $100 CPA, 4x ROAS, $400 AOV. This is a great ad. Let's see the frequency. On $500 spent. This is great. 1.6x CPC. This is something, again, we found the first, I would say, winner that we can use and iterate on. Okay. This one. Audience segments to see how it performed. Okay. In this campaign, I think exclusions were turned on, and you see that they spent most of their budget on new audience, or they just didn't set up the audience inside. Maybe also the reason. But let's go to the settings to see what's kind of in there. Okay. Let's go lower. They're excluding purchase 100, at least purchase 180 days, because in that new campaign, I know for sure that I've checked that before, they were not excluding purchases. It's just all broad, and that's why it's going to existing customers. All right, let's go back to July. All right, July here we have, let's sort by purchases. We have this prospecting campaign, low AOV, really low AOV. Again, it's working most of all on existing customers. Yikes. Okay. We have this one, we have scaling campaign. Yeah, okay, this one is better, 270. 1.8 x ROAS. This one is way better. But it has 5x frequency. Wow. Oh my god, okay. It's called purchase for retargeting, BOF, retargeting high intent. Okay, let's see what we have here. Klarna static. Okay, because it's a higher AOV, they're kind of offering the Klarna solution, you know, you can break down the payments. It worked pretty well for them, so it's something I would also introduce in a new campaign. Maybe it's already in there. And here we have the second winner ad, I think, $130 on per purchase, 2.5x frequency, $330 AOV, good conversion rate. All right, $3 per click. Actually, the conversion rate from clicks to landing pages is not that bad. It's not like 30%, if you remember. So 900, 600, 350, 200, right? So it's way better here. And then we have 3x ROAS, 3x frequency, which is quite high already. But this ad kind of like performed well. I would definitely reuse it. Oh, let's go back to the ad set level and the campaign level again. Okay, let's take a look over all campaigns because I'm just curious. Right, this is prospecting, scaling, purchase, retargeting, $1,400. Oh, sorry. Then we have 8,000 clicks, 5,000 landing page views. Okay, the drop is not that big here yet. It's quite big on this new campaign. Or it's, let me see when it was started. In March. Okay. 17 to 1600, 700. All right, and then in August, let's see. 7.4. Okay. Yeah, so here we have this big drop of clicks. Big drop of clicks here. 50% of the drop of clicks here. Interesting. I think with the website Shopify connection. So again, reconnecting the Shopify to checking if it's getting better or not. If you have any other ideas, basically, I would be happy if you comment down below. Yeah, I think it's definitely there. All right, guys, I won't be diving a lot and spending a lot of more time here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed how I kind of like look through everything. I'm not sure 100% I haven't missed anything, but kind of like reviewed everything that I needed to understand how this business is doing, where it needs some optimization. So definitely you need to exclude your existing customers and customer lists as well. Set up on the customer, on the ad account level, all these exclusions, right? Also be able to track if you're not spending too much on existing customers, right? If your ads, they can be prospecting ads, they can have lower frequency, they may not be spending the highest amount of money, but you should be spending 80% of your budget on new customers, not existing customers or returning customers. And to be able to see that clearly, right, you need to set up all these, attributions and audiences, and then keep control on the frequency, keep control on on the ads that are spending money. If they are not profitable, you just stop them. All right, it doesn't matter. It's Andromeda, not Andromeda, whatever. Okay, and keep an eye also on average order value, because again, you shouldn't spend, or you can spend it. You can set up a separate campaign spending on existing customers if you want, but not that much money. Okay. And of course, keeping in mind and tracking all these conversions weekly or even daily, depends on your business and the hook rate, etc. And if you found the winning ad like we did, like here, right? Of course, we could have find much more winning ads if you spend another 20 minutes or so. And if you find them, just double down on them. You know, take those ads, create variations of those, create different hooks in the beginning. Of course, this is not Andromeda style. This is basically just iterating. Iterating still works. Again, iterating works, but first thing is diversification and then iterating, right? If you have a lot of ads in your funnel, then you can iterate. If you don't have, it's better to do a new ad that will fulfill all 5 stages of the funnel, okay? You need to have ads for all 5 stages, for unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, most aware. You need to have 5 different types of ads in your ad account. And you can have like VSL, UGC, I don't know, ASMER, podcast style, street interview, just static ad, review, testimonial ad, just product and quote and headline, problem solution, but whatever, like just have a lot of ads and create those, iterate on those, okay? Drop them inside of your CBO and see if it's getting spent. Track the metrics across the ad account, see if it's like an average or below average, higher average, right? And again, if you're a high AOV brand, the thing is, you don't need to spend like $500 to see if the ad is working well or not. It's too much. Again, it depends on your product cost. But we have, like in our case study, you probably have seen a couple of videos before. $1,500 AOV, even more actually. Jewelry brand. We are able to identify if the ad is working if it has spent like $150 already. Because you know, if it's not getting add to carts for this amount of money, then it's probably not a good ad. Because even our top of the funnel ads, they're not getting sales in there, right? But they're getting good amount of add to carts, good amount of checkouts, and yeah, and we just keep it running because we also see the frequency is not rising fast. The click is good. The engagement rate on the backend on GA4 is also healthy, and we just keep it since the overall ROAS is great. All right. So that's it basically. I hope you enjoyed this video. Put a like below and subscribe to the channel in order not to miss some new videos and tips about meta optimization.